Hey everyone, this is Al. Some people are good at sports, some people are good at singing, and I am good at studying. A lot of people study really hard and they work very hard, but they don't get the grade they think they deserve. Why is that? I think it's because they study too much and study too hard, but not knowing what to study for and what to work for. So I am pre-med, so I need really high grades, and I developed a system of studying for me to get good grades. So I still have a 4.09 GPA after I take 2 organic chemistry course, 2 physics course, and an anatomy course, which I all made A+ in, except physics 2 I made A in. I both want good grades and also I want as much time as possible outside the school. So I'm trying to find a way that both minimize study time and maximize my grade. So the way to do it is to minimize the amount of study material I need to have and maximize my efficiency. One of the problems I see with a lot of people is they are penny smart and dollar foolish when it comes to study. A lot of people focus a lot of time on homework, finish every single homework. Then for the study for the test, usually they just cram it for it. In my opinion, homework works so little, so I don't do all the homework. I only work on those homework that I think is beneficial for my test. So my aim throughout the whole study is for the test. The second problem with a lot of people is that people study too much. People try to study every single thing in the notes, every single point in the PowerPoint. In my opinion, that's total waste of time. Have you guys heard of the 20-80 rule? Usually 20% of the studying produce 80% amount of results. So I try to focus on those 20% on most important things and ignore that rest of 80%. And in return, this will maximize your grade while minimizing the study time you need. So how do you know what's those 20% of the things you need to study for? This is through practice tests. If your professor gives practice tests, that's amazing. Because using practice tests, if you look at it, you see what kind of problem the professor is looking for. What a section is those problems in. I only study for those problems. Mostly, with most amount of the time, I study for those questions. So I work through them and see what problem I don't fully grasp, I don't have ease working through. Then I look at the chapters and see how I can learn that concept more deeply. So I don't learn every single thing. I learn the key concept that I have problem on. And another great resource is if you have a textbook. On the end of each chapter, they usually have chapter review. Look at those chapter review. They are very helpful at pointing out what's the key concept you need to know for that course or that chapter. This is one of the very important point that you go to class. But I also experiment with not going to class this semester just to see how to survive a class without going to class, and I end up with an A actually. So if you guys want, I can post another video on how to survive a class without going to the class. But going to class is very, very beneficial because in my studying, I don't study for the rest of the stuff. I only study the key concepts. So going to class gives me a broad idea of what other those less important ideas are. It's just in the back of my head. I don't really care about it. since it amounts for very little on the test. But since you go to class, you have a very vague idea of what it is. So on the test, they are more likely that you actually get this point right. And for going to class, a lot of people don't know how to focus in class. It's because it's an hour, 30 minutes. There's no way a person can focus for that long. So you have to learn when to focus and when to zone out. And this is where the practice test and chapter review also comes in. So before I go to the class, I usually read the chapter review for that chapter. It's usually very short for most textbooks. It's probably just have a vague idea of what's the key points you gotta focus on. And for the actually test taking, there are a lot of techniques people use. I will just go over 3 main ones for me. First, have a good night's sleep, very important. Second, on the day of test, I usually don't do any mental work. I just have fun, relax, chat with my friends, and go out and watch a sunrise and sunset, stuff like that. And do some good things. Have a happy attitude. So the third thing is, whenever you are done with your test, briefly go back to the test and see what the question is asking. Check it to see if that's what you answered. So many times that I answer a question very fast, thought I got it really right. Then when the test come back, or like when I go see the professor, then it turns out I wasn't answering the exact thing the question is asking. What do you think is the most important thing when it comes to studying, test taking, and school? Please comment below. If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe, and press the ring bell thing. Thank you very much for watching this video.